Right. Looks like we're just about here. Seems that there's a bit of a pileup on the way to the docking station. An unfortunate circumstance, but not one that we can't overcome. Besides, we've waited in lines like this before, haven't we? You know that it's a rhetorical question. I don't forget easily. I'd guess that it should take at least 4 hours to get through the traffic. Not exactly. There must have been some delay either due to mechanical or human error at the station that is holding everyone else back. Perhaps an overloaded shuttle, someone that was hauling too much ice for their rig. Not the best outcome, no. Today was long, more tedious than normal. But at least we were both on the same detachment today. That's all that mattered to me. We both know that's the case. You're the only thing in my life that makes it worth living. Besides you, I'm no more than a drone carrying out orders. I apologize, you always hated that kind of talk. Of course, I know that I can speak my mind. It's still just strange doing it with someone that wants to know me, to speak with me, not just to command me. Our batch should be fine. The ice shipment is well within maximum capacity for the track heading back to the surface. I did calculate it, actually. You know that it's in my nature to observe, to obtain the maximum efficiency that I can in any regard. Seems that we've received a message from Station Command. Would you put on Crimson for me? Yes, I know. But I promise that I will find him a better chassis soon. They're just hard to come by, especially as of late. Indeed. One can only hope that the Carnifex will be driven back sooner than later. The assault from all sides has... Understood. The message, it reads that we will be here, as I predicted, roughly 4 to 6 hours before we can head through the station shaft and go home. Unfortunate news, yes, but at the very least, we'll be together. You know that I meant nothing of the sort. Any time spent with you is worth more than words could describe, than I could describe. The disturbance? Just as I thought. It would appear that there is a shuttle that overloaded itself with cargo and couldn't stop in time. The resulting collision with the unit in front of it started a chain reaction that has resulted in several inactive shuttles clogging the docking station. I couldn't tell you why people do it, but I could hypothesize if you'd like. Perhaps you're right. My analysis of situations can be long-worded, dull. Yes, today's work was particularly difficult and loud. The outcrops that we encountered today were difficult to get through, and yes, it was a hard day. Me? Yes, I am quite tired. Stressed? I don't think that I'm capable of that concept. All I know is that the work today was hard, and that I want to go home with you. Eat some Baruga stew to replenish my energy, so that I can provide maximum output tomorrow. Though the station states that it should be 4 to 6 hours to clear the pileup on the track surface bound, I believe that it shouldn't take that long. With the stresses of the hegemony's economic infrastructure due to the Carnifex infestations and Eternian presence in Fora Quadrant, I don't think that they have the lack of sense to maintain peak efficiency in moving more product to the surface. I apologize. Being too analytical again. At least it's not as bad as my inability to use transponders, right? That's even worse, isn't it? I'll do my best to improve my skills in using long-range telecoms then. No. I won't ever leave your side. That is something that I can promise with certainty. You are my world, my galaxy, my starlight. And there is nothing that will change that. Not distance, not time, nothing. Romantic? Not entirely sure if I'm capable of that. I just say what I feel, bluntly, efficiently as I can. It was programmed into me after all. Ways to pass the time. I'm unsure of what else we could do besides wait. I wasn't instructed on how best to pass time. The hegemony taught me to hurry up and wait, to expect nothing, to follow orders. They asked me to wait, then I'd wait. Days, weeks, longer if need be. Not that there was ever much downtime during the war. Yes, even my earliest memories, when I was synth-born from the tubes in the Cinder facility. All that I was instilled with was duty, subservience, how to kill, to defend the hegemony's interests. I wouldn't say that I hated it. How could I? They'd programmed it out of me, and what remained was quickly conditioned from my psyche. My younger years were filled with tests, with training, with what I could compare to pain, even agony. But not having these emotions within me, I couldn't say for sure. Wouldn't do that to those at no true distress. My interests. The only interests I have are review and gutting Proxima's archaic systems to figure out how to spend even more time with you. My only hope that one day, I can find a way to be with you indefinitely. No holds barred. Boring? How so? Or is it that you find me boring? I was attempting to make a joke. Apologies if it didn't seem as such. Well, thanks to you, I now have a relative grasp on some organic concepts. Joy, sadness, loneliness. No, I never knew loneliness until I'd met you. No, there's nothing to be sorry about. I think I prefer to have someone that I want to be with, and that person is you. Anything else besides trying to figure out ways that I can rig the system to spend more time with you, I'm not entirely sure. My life has always revolved around servitude, around violence, destroying enemies of the hegemony, doing... You're right. Perhaps my past isn't one that's too interesting. I was created, born unto conflict, deactivated, then awakened for yet another war. Then when all the infighting was done, I was decommissioned and sent to work in the ice mines. Well, that's because there had been too many resources put into my creation. In the hegemony's eyes, I'm an expensive asset that can't be wasted. So they let me live, with the assurance that I'd return to the theater of war if it was ever called for again. An issue with it? No, I don't think so. Or at least, I didn't think so. Not until I'd met you. I now know that violence, no matter how skilled I am in that business, I care if I die. I know the risks of conflict. Since you'd opened my eyes, I learned that there are consequences, that I could be destroyed, and that I could even care about that, the end of my life, to be exact. I care more about you and I than anything else, even more than what was instilled, trained, and programmed into me during my creation. You are my everything, my joy. You somehow destroyed the shackles that had been placed on my mind, and you've shown me what being alive truly meant. You gave me purpose, and you still do. Even that, I do not know yet. It's still too early to tell, and I can feel the pull of command straining against me. I know that it will take time for me to develop my own interests further, but if I was to have an interest, I think that it would be in cooking. No, this isn't a terrible attempt at humor. We both know that I am far beyond saving in that regard. I just believe that cooking can be something that is truly selfless, something that I can relate to. There are rules. Cook something too long and it burns, too short and it will be a terrible experience. In Project Cinder, there was no food, just pills, things to make us feel full, to satisfy our needs in order to perform as necessary. But you've shown me that there is more than survival. There is life. There is passion. Something that is like cooking. It's something that doesn't have to be done here on Proxima. You can have supplements. You can survive. You can shove pills down your throat and continue on, but you can't be satiated. I didn't know what it meant to be. That simple joy of having something that is for more than to survive, or as a means to an end. To cook is something more. To fill yourself with something that makes you feel good. The first thing you ever gave me was a pat on the back and a piece of beruga jerky. And that simple gesture, when I was at my limit in the ice mines, about to collapse from fatigue due to being overworked, it gave rise to something in me. Genuine thanks, not just acknowledgement. That simple thank you that I gave you as I tasted something that wasn't just sustenance. It was the start of something new, something strange, something that's still strange to me. You could surmise it as giving food to a stray frisk, yes, but it was something more to me. And that something is something that I will never be able to thank you enough for. You have a way for us to take some time for ourselves, do you? We're still technically on the clock, aren't we? That's fair. While waiting in this queue, there won't be any hindrance on our performance output. What are you getting at? My sexual history? Why would you want to know that? I'm not being secretive, just curious as to how that could assist in passing the time. Yes, of course. Well, I've never had intercourse before. No, none of that either. It would be inefficient. If you want to breed someone